Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be covering the topic of what to do during your slow season or your off season from the perspective of a waste management business. A client of mine recently asked me this question, and I thought it'd be a great video to put together for all of you. I know this problem applies to many waste management businesses out there, and so I put together a short list of strategies that I think that we can all take advantage of. And I also inserted a few real-world examples from my experience working directly in the waste management sector myself, as well as my experience being a fractional CFO for waste management businesses. Our first strategy is going to be a maintenance and inventory management strategy. In the slow season, the one resource you have more of is going to be time. And with that, you're going to have the opportunity to prepare well for your next peak season. Certain kinds of things I would suggest are going to be making sure that you repair trucks or bins during this time, possibly reorganizing and cleaning up your staging yard. Maybe you need to repaint some of your bins. And I would even go as far as to say is that resting drivers to a certain degree is probably a good strategy as well. From my real world experience, I have seen companies almost make the mistake of restricting spend so much that they weren't going to actually be able to properly prepare for their next off season. The point here is to find the balance. Spend what you need to prepare well, and then have the discipline to not spend beyond that. Next, we have our training and process improvement strategy. As business owners, I know that you're already dealing with the constant evolution of your business, and that change management itself is hard enough. Being intentional about when you make these changes is a great way of taking advantage of your off season. Something you might consider is to implement better training for your drivers and personnel, and possibly even testing or entirely implementing new technology infrastructure for your business during the off season. Again, the point here is to find the balance. Don't try to make too many changes during your off season. I would highly suggest finding the changes that are going to bring you the most return in terms of additional revenue, additional profitability, or reduced risk from an operational perspective, and just being very intentional about successfully implementing that change during your off season and capturing the value of that during your next peak season. Finally, we have our business development and marketing strategy. For this strategy, the off season is a great time to work on marketing efforts, customer relationship building, and exploring new service offerings. A practical example of this would be broadening your branding base. If you do good work, have your sales team reach out to customers and gather additional reviews. I would even go as far to say as preparing a 3 to 5 market data questionnaire if you're going to be reaching out already, and capturing that data during that exercise. Now that we've gone through our strategies, I do want to make one more final point about the importance of overall business planning. If you're just now asking yourself how you should be taking advantage of your slow season and you're about to walk into your slow season, you've probably missed a very important planning exercise that should have happened 3 to 6 months ago. If this is the case, I would highly recommend using some of your time in the off season to actually go and do some of those planning exercises. And the way you want to do this is you want to look at your business on an entire year cycle. So you want to look at how you want to operate during your peak season, how you want to operate in your off season, and then also include something about how you want to make the transition between the two. And very importantly, when you do this, also take into consideration the kinds of cash reserves you need to build up during your peak season and how you're going to be using those cash reserves like we talked about in the maintenance and inventory strategy during your off season. And then you can have some comfort and dissuade any kind of anxiety that you might be having about what you can spend and how much you can be spending during the off season, because you'll have a nice plan in place. If anybody has additional strategies that they would like to share in the comment section below, please feel free to do so. I hope that we all got a good perspective on how we can best take advantage of our off season, and also why planning is such an important part of our overall formula for success. With that said, I hope you all have a great day. My name is Kyle, this is D3, and I'll see you on the next one.